Let's get this guy with the IEDs. Bait him in. Bait him in. Bait him in.
Where, the guy up ahead?
Yeah.
Is that a boat?
Got an IED, a tugs down, guys.
Oh, I got him!
No, it's the,
I got him! I have never gotten a kill with that stupid thing, ever. What's going on, guys, in the works? And you can probably tell I was a little bit excited about getting that IED kill because I've never actually tried to do it, and I got it on my first try. I was like, wow, you know, maybe those things are better than they look because they always seem to be pretty useless. But we are using one of the new weapons today, the AWS LMG. And unless you've been living under a rock, you'll know that this is a very, very good weapon. I've seen multiple videos of people saying, best weapon in the game, you know, crazy title like that. And it's probably true. This is probably one of the best weapons in the game. I mean, if you played Battlefield 4 in the past week, you've probably gotten killed by this and said, man, that thing is freaking good. So it's definitely a very solid LMG. And that's something that I actually like. A lot of people are saying, oh, this is going to be nerfed. This is going to be the first weapon they decide to nerf from Naval Strike. And I look at that and I'm like, well, why on earth would you want to do that? This finally gives a support class an assault rifle like LMG. We had a lot of those in Battlefield 3. I mean, you had like the, what is it, the L86 LMG, you had the MG36 LMG. So there was plenty of assault rifle, you know, magazine-fed type LMGs, which I actually liked using. I actually preferred to use them sometimes if you're playing a little bit more aggressive. Granted, my favorite LMG is the 240 Bravo because that thing was just amazing in BF3. But that's beside the point. This is our assault rifle type LMG, something that I think we really needed, and I think it makes the support class a little bit more competitive. And it's pretty versatile too. Now, it's one of the easier ones to unlock. Basically, if you like the Jihad Jeep, Jihad C4, and all that crap, that's what you got to do, because you just got to blow up some vehicles, and once you blow up 3 vehicles, and I think you need to get like 3 LMG ribbons, you unlock it. So it's pretty simple. It's not challenging in the slightest. I actually unlocked it in the first game I even tried it on. So I don't think you're going to be, you know, struggling to unlock the AWS. It's pretty accessible, which is a good thing because those assignments can get a little grinding. I know the Gall Magnum assignment was really freaking annoying because you had to get up on top of the Firestorm or Caspian Tower and camp, or you got to go up there and kill the people camping. Either way worked, but it was still quite an annoying assignment. But let's talk about this weapon, because this is, you know, I've already mentioned, it behaves more like an assault rifle. And that's because in real life, this is a modified M16. And I was actually talking to my buddy Daskro about this, and we were discussing how it was actually, they took an M16 platform and they modified it so that it could take these big magazines, which you see the 2 giant, you know, 100-round magazines that you can slap on this bad boy. So, you know, in essence, it is an assault rifle. And if you look at the damage model on it, it follows the same damage model that the assault rifles have in terms of drop-off. See, LMGs actually have a little bit longer damage. They hold their damage a little bit longer than most of the assault rifles in the game. So it's actually kind of got a cool characteristic. A lot of people have seen that and they've been saying, oh, well, that's a glitch. Well, I don't really think that's the case. I mean, it obviously shoots an assault rifle round. It behaves more like an assault rifle. It literally is a modified assault rifle. It makes sense for this to have assault rifle drop-off, considering that it doesn't really have a whole lot of recoil. Now, because it does shoot an assault rifle round, and because it is, you know, what it is, it does not give you the same suppression that you're going to get from like an MG4 or the 240 Bravo or the 249, which is really to be expected because it is firing basically an assault rifle round in an assault rifle barrel. So that's one of the trade-offs. It's not really that big of a deal, considering that this thing is a laser beam. You can go into battle and you can almost go full auto with this. Now, I wouldn't advise you to go full auto with this in most scenarios, but it is possible. When I've run into a room, I've just held down the trigger and just mowed people down. And the iron sights on this thing are really not that great, but the recoil on it is so low that it actually makes the horrible iron sights usable, which is kind of surprising because they're very similar to the FAMASs. They're not as obtrusive as the FAMASs, but they are kind of like, you know, it's like a little circle, like the fat circle, and it's got like a toothpick sticking out of the center. But I mean, like I said, the low recoil does make it a little bit manageable, although, you know, as soon as I unlocked a different optic, I instantly went to that. So AWS most likely is the best LMG, depending on what you want to do. But, you know, MG4, M249 are still really good choices, considering that you don't get that same suppression and damage model that you get on the AWS than you do on the belt fetch, which is something that I think a lot of people like about the LMGs in the game. But me personally, I was really pumped to play the support class in Battlefield 4. But once I got my hands on it, I just really didn't find myself enjoying using it. But when the AWS came out, I was like, wow, this is a weapon that actually feels like I can do well against the assault rifles in the game. So I'm actually really happy with it. I mean, I guess you could say, Jake, you like using an overpowered weapon? And you know what? Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Because I've had a lot of fun using the AWS. It reminds me of my good old Battlefield 3 support days because it was one of my favorite classes. And it just bums me because when I look at how many service stars I have in Battlefield 4, I'm like, oh, that's not very many compared to my other classes. So there's obviously a gap there that I think perhaps this weapon fills. So let me know what you guys think about the AWS so far. Do you think it needs to be nerfed? I don't think so, but you know, you may disagree with me, which is all fine and dandy. And if you didn't miss any of my past videos, here's a chance to catch up. I did my first look at Titanfall the other day, which is actually a pretty cool video and a really awesome round. And I'm also working on a Wind Waker HD playthrough on my other channel, so if you haven't caught up on that, be sure to click the annotation, and I will see you guys next time.